Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to talk about the recent plane crashes that have been all over the news pretty much. The last two, specifically, one was in Kazakhstan. I think that killed 38 people, and the one recent a few days ago in South Korea, which killed 179 people. I think there was only 2 survivors. Now, plane travel, air travel, is still quite safe in comparison, statistically, in comparison to like driving, taking a bus, riding a motorcycle, the usual modes of transportation on ground. However, there's been no more talk in the news about the scandal at Boeing, which is one of the biggest plane manufacturing companies in the world. And I don't know if you guys remember this, where they had the whistleblower who was going to stand trial against Boeing, I think with the government or something, like an inquiry, because of the fact that they were making faulty parts or buying faulty parts for the planes. I don't know if they were from China or whatever, but they were low quality parts they were building these planes with. Not to mention that a lot of security checks, safety checks were not being completed, and what ended up happening to him was he committed suicide, apparently. And I don't buy it, because there's a lot of evidence points that suggest that he was not a person who wanted to unalive himself. I think his long time best friend or something said he did not have this mentality. The fact that I think that he apparently shot himself twice. How do you shoot yourself twice? How do you survive? Especially in the head. Very, very shady stuff. I personally think he was offed by this company so that a lot of this information wouldn't come to light, because Boeing would have been fined a massive amount of money and probably criminal charges would be laid. I don't know what's going on with this case. I know there was another whistleblower as well. I think he's still alive and well. And it's just goes to show you how these companies, the people running them, big corporations, just put the people last. Plane safety, flight safety should be paramount for these companies. Your plane should be tip top. You should be assembling them with the highest quality of parts. I don't care how much more money you're gonna have to pay. You're selling these planes like hotcakes, okay? There's no need for you to skimp out on low quality parts in order to save some extra money for your fat cat CEOs. It's just beyond me how these companies are getting away with it. The thought process as well of these companies is just, who cares about them? They won't know. And I think there was the main issue was like the wings, the bolts that they used to fasten the wings together or something to the plane they were like low quality, and even the doors or something. There was some problems going on with the wings and the doors and stuff, which is really kind of scary, I mean, I don't know. I'm already a fearful flyer. I'm not dreadfully scared of flying, but I get nervous. I'm sure most of you do if you've flown anywhere. But once you're up there, you feel kind of calm, and you're just seeing it's just best not to think about how high you are up there. That's what I try not to do. Don't think about how high you're up there and that it's out of your control. Like most things in life, flying up in the heavens is out of your control. Whatever happens, happens. I always get sweaty palms, but I don't get like shakes or anything like that, but anxiety. I already live with anxiety, so you imagine flying. That brings a little bit of the anxiety back. But coming back to the Boeing thing and whatnot. It's just how these companies are able to get away with it. And unfortunately, the ones that are supposed to keep them in line are probably getting kickbacks. It's all one big scam, one big corruption after another. And these companies, it's kind of frightening when the regulators are supposed to be the ones that are checking in on them and making sure that they're on the up and up and everything's run smoothly. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's all about the money. Everyone has a price, and a lot of people will sell out in order to make it big. And these companies are no better, nor is the regulator. The regulator is the same. I've lost all faith, and they've lost all credibility with me, at least, and with a lot of people, as to, whether they're going to keep us safe if they're in their best interests. We're not anymore. So whenever I get a flight, I'm always looking, is it Boeing or is it I always try to get the Airbus. That's usually a safer bet, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it makes me feel a little bit better when I'm boarding the flight. But I have no confidence in almost any of these big companies anymore, because you just don't know what shortcuts they want to take, what they're doing to make an extra buck. It's unbelievable. And this is happening more and more in this world, where screw the safety of these people, and we just want to get the money and hope that they don't crash or have a bad accident. And this is happening quite a bit more. Now, there's the other flip side, and I can't really talk too much into it, but I will just add it to this video. Since people have been taking the you-know-what over the last few years, specifically in 2021, pilots of planes, of big airlines have been, I don't know whether they've taken it off now, but they were forced to take it. And this has caused a lot of issues amongst pilots. I'll put up the little list so you can see how many situations there have been with pilots when it comes to heart problems, flying these planes, which is even bigger concern, because if the pilot and the co-pilot are having medical problems or whatever, who the hell's going to fly the plane? Who's going to fly the plane to safety? I don't know. But there's been an awful lot of incidences going on with health problems with pilots. Medical issues with pilots. A lot of pilots don't get enough rest, or they're overworked, or they're stressed. And you need a fully alert pilot and or co-pilot, or both would be best, to make sure that the flight runs smoothly as possible. You have a guy who has some sort of an addiction or a drinking problem, or I remember that, what was it, Sully, remember where he landed the plane, I think, oh god, this had to have been like 15-20 years ago, and landed the plane in Hudson, I don't know if it's New York Harbor or one of the rivers somewhere, I can't remember. And apparently, or maybe I'm thinking of the other guy, it was the Denzel Washington movie, god, I'll put the name in the video. I think he saved them by going upside down or something. I'm mixing up two stories, but the point of the thing is they went after the guy because he apparently had been drinking the day of the flight. So I'm thinking of the story that Denzel Washington played. Sorry, not Sully. Sully landed the plane, I think, quite normally, but the other one, he had a drinking problem, and apparently he was drinking the day that he was flying. But you even for being a hero, let's hope that your pilot is not drinking or has a drug problem or something like that. But by the way, both of them are good movies. I think Tom Hanks played the Sully pilot, and then Denzel Washington played the other guy. There was two different incidences. So you want pilots who are healthy, have good mental health, have no addiction problems, get plenty of rest. I mean, this goes for any profession. But for purposes of this video, pilots need to be on the ball and with it, and just I don't know, it's very alarming, the fact, and I'm not saying that these pilots may have had a problem from these recent accidents, the pilots of these planes, but I mean, something happened with these planes, something happened with these incidences. But the point is, you got to have a spot on crew, spot on pilot and co-pilot. You need to have a well-maintained plane and just people who know what they're doing. And the other last point I'm going to add is the DEI crap that they're trying to pull when it comes to hiring pilots. Now, they want to try to hire somebody who is, whether it's like LGBTQ or whatever, you know, try to fill in, check off a box. Now, I don't care what sex you are or whether you're hetero or whatever, if you're going to fly the plane. I just want people who are capable. It can be a gay man, it can be a lesbian, it can be trans, it can be whatever. I don't want someone flying the plane just because they are a trans person. Nothing against trans, but I want the best and most capable person behind at the cockpit. I don't want someone there just because they fill a criteria. If it happens to be someone who's gay or whatever and they are fully capable of flying a plane, I don't care about that. That's awesome. They can have the job. We just want to hire the best people. It doesn't matter if whatever your lifestyle is. That doesn't matter to me when it comes to having the right person. Just got to have the right person. That's all I have to say about that specific thing when it comes to flying a plane or any other job for that matter. But I don't know. I'm always weary about getting on a plane these days now for fear of the safety, but I guess it's out of my control. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I hope not. So many people have lost their lives from plane incidences. There's so many that I can recall. And the one thing that I always think about when after one of these accidents has happened is what's going through the minds of the people on the plane at the moment of that, thinking that we're going to make it, or putting hope in survival. And I mean, it's got to be one of the worst situations to be in, the moments leading up to the crash or whatever. It's just got to be horrendous. So that's all I really have to say about that. But would really like to know what you think about the crashes and about plane safety and everything I talked about in this video. Do you think planes are still quite safe? Do you have confidence in these companies? Let me know. And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video very soon. Bye for now.